Okay, this is a part two to my other drunk driving chat. The question occurred to me as I was making this cup of coffee. Does it make sense to pass any law that makes us safer? We have laws forcing us to wear motorcycle helmets. We have laws forcing us to wear seat belts. Those laws, which only regulate my behavior and how it affects me personally, are considered good laws because they make us safer. Well, in keeping with that theme, why don't we make it a law that you cannot leave your house without a helmet and body armor? Why don't we make it a law that you can't leave your house at all, because it's certainly more safe in your bedroom than it is out in the world? Why don't we make it a law that everyone must have a doctor, emergency room equipment, holistic medicine guru living in their house, in their kitchen, to tell them what they can eat, in what quantities? The doctor is there to constantly give you CAT scans and x-rays and take blood tests. And maybe everybody will live to 197 years old. These are all ideas that would make us safer, right? But let's talk about driving. It's dangerous to go over the speed limit. Well, here's an idea. Why don't we put remote transmitters in speed limit signs that communicate with your car? And that way your car will be told what its max speed is on that particular stretch of that particular road, and therefore you cannot speed. No more speeding tickets, because you can't go any faster than that. If the government has the power to tell us we can't go more than 65 miles an hour, then the government certainly has the power to tell automobile manufacturers they can't make cars that go faster than 65. And if they did that, no money, no tax revenue, no ticket revenue. Every car would automatically be obeying the law every moment of every day. If drunk driving really is such a danger, then why do we make cars that we can drive drunk? Why don't we put a breathalyzer in every car? There. Then you can't start it, drunk or sober. Everybody would have one. You can't start the car unless you prove you're capable of driving it. Oh, but let's say that people will get around it. They'll have their baby brother breathe into it. Well, don't tell me the technology doesn't exist for the machine, the device, to first test your saliva to confirm that you are in fact the right person by measuring your DNA. These are things that would make cars safer, make less people dead on the roads, right? I mean, if we're gonna make the world safer, let's make it safer. I would love to wake up one morning and walk and see every person on earth walk out of their homes wearing crash helmets and body armor, because they're going to be safer, right? They're going to be safer. Everybody having a nutrition expert living in their kitchen, so they cannot eat junk food. They cannot eat non-organic or whatever the best food is of the day. That's the only thing they can eat, period. How safe do we want to be? You can't have facial hair because it might get caught in a meat grinder and suck your face in. You can't wear jewelry. You got to ground all the airplanes because there's a 1 in 7 bazillion chance that the airplane might crash and you might die. So no more airplanes. I mean, how safe do we want to be? And how many stupid people really are out there? I've told this story 100 times. We regulate the dog shit out of traffic. We do it because we don't know any other way. Well, there is another way. There's a city in the Netherlands named Drachten who completely abandoned all traffic regulation whatsoever. I haven't been there, but at least that's what the story says. And you can Wikipedia Drachten, Drachten. They haven't had a single stop sign, a single traffic light, a single speed limit sign in Drachten in almost 10 years. Guess how many car accidents they've had? 0. The website says practically 0. What that means literally is they've had a few fender benders. They haven't had a single traumatic car accident that included an injury or a fatality in almost 10 years without a single fucking traffic law. It all comes down to we are terrified of each other because that's what we're taught to be. If you want a safer world, then force everybody to wear fucking styrofoam suits every minute of every day. And if they get too hot or too uncomfortable, we put in air conditioning systems like race car drivers have in their fireproof suits. And it's possible to make a perfectly safe world. A perfectly safe, I suppose, if you really wanted to go crazy, you could create a world where no one is ever allowed to leave their house, and that everything they need to live will be delivered to them from some remote location, a place where also no one is ever allowed to leave, and everything is shipped to you via some intricate network of vacuum tubes. How fucking stupid do we want to be? How long do we want to live? If you think right now the healthcare industry is actually trying to prolong your life, you're smoking crack. There are a lot of well-intentioned people who really care for people. But the capitalist market system demands that diseases be treated, not cured. There's no money in curing something, but there's infinite dollars in treating it for life. If you don't think that's real, then you don't see the market system for what it is. I'm not saying that they're hiding cures for cancer, but I will tell you this. If I'm the CEO of a company that makes billions selling chemotherapy treatments, and I find out some lab in New Mexico has stumbled on some accidental pill that will cure all cancer in 2 weeks, I have a responsibility to my stockholders to do everything I can to shut that company down and destroy that technology. That's not evil. That's me doing a good job as a CEO of a chemotherapy company. Sad, but true. So how safe do we want to be? Think about it. I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but does it? We have to have car insurance. We have to wear motorcycle helmets. We have to have seat belts in our cars. Then fuck it, let's just go crazy. Everyone has to wear safety goggles and crash helmets and body armor and whatever. As soon as the technology exists, I'm sure that we can probably adorn ourselves with some sort of impenetrable force field so that we can't even bump into a fucking wall. Anyway, this rant is not directed at anyone in particular. It's discussing an idea. How far do we want this idea to go?